So whether you started trading already or if you're thinking of trading, you might find this useful. Essentially, it's time for a bit of introspection and to decide what kind of trader are you. Certainly, if you've been at break-even or making consistent losses since you started trading, it might be worth a closer look. We're going to examine the traits of the rookie trader versus the traits of the seasoned professional. Those types of people in the markets who are making consistent returns, which is exactly where people who are learning to trade the markets are looking to be. And if you're not at that stage yet, then it might be worth your while, certainly, to see what the competing traits are. What makes a rookie trader different from a seasoned professional, apart from the millions they're trading? Well, let's discuss. From attitude to trading plan to strategy to risk. We'll cover them all. So in terms of attitude, the rookie trader thinks that trading is easy money and will focus excessively on the financial end result over and above the management and exit of the trade in progress. Does that sound familiar? Certainly when a lot of people who I've mentored are new to the market seem to think that trading is their one-way ticket to millions overnight, when unfortunately it's not quite like that. If you're making a consistent return over the long term, then there's no reason to say that you can't make a lot of money when you have a lot of money to trade with. And certainly if you are making consistent returns between like 2 and 6% a month or even more than that, then if you haven't got big money, then the big money will certainly look for you, because it is a real skill set getting consistency. And a lot of rookies end up blowing up their accounts because of the impatience. They often have a smaller account as well. So impatience is their worst enemy there. Whereas a seasoned pro will simply be as objective as possible in their approach. Their focus will be on the trade rather than the money, which is extremely important, and they will not fall in love with their trades. They will happily cut losers short and let their winners run. As for trading plans, the rookie trader, they simply won't have one. Their simple plan will be make money regardless of strategy, and they will inadvertently punt, chase, and jump onto spikes in excitement. The fear of missing out on the trade will overwhelm any rational thinking, and they'll simply want to be in as many trades as possible. They'll be under the belief that the more trades they place, the more money they'll ultimately make. Whereas the seasoned pro will robotically and rigidly stick to the plan and trade their plan according to their rules. All possible outcomes of the trade are assessed before the trade is entered and managed, and they'll look at the overall market and the context of the market in order to see if not only are their rules are met, whether there's any conflicting news announcements out there, and whether the conditions and the rules are met for entry, and whether they've got a decent reward to risk, i.e., are they potentially going to be making a return which makes what they're risking viable? Is it a viable proposition, they'll be asking themselves every time. And as for the trading style, well, the rookie will simply have a scattergun approach. They'll never keep to one strategy. They'll keep on chasing their tail and go to different strategy, and they'll probably have more than one strategy open at the same time. In fact, they'll probably have numerous trades open at the same time with adhering to different strategies, different rules, and they'll quite happily or unhappily lose track to the point where they blow their account up. And face it, many people have been there before. Conversely, the professionals, they'll simply be as happy to trade as they are staying out of the markets. They'll adopt the concept, it's better to be a pilot on the ground wishing heels in the air than a pilot in the air wishing heels on the ground. If all their rules are not met to trade, they'll simply just look on and stare at the market and be of the notion that less is more and more is less. And that is so important in trading. And as for risk management, well, the amateur will simply not even know that actually 1% of their account is more than enough to be risking per trade, 2% absolute max, and they'll inadvertently risk a lot more in order to recoup losses. What the typical scenario is, they'll have a punt, they'll lose money, then that will turn to frustration, then they'll have another trade, that will lose, and then the two losing trades in a row will cause them to turn to an anger trade. And the anger trade, the third trade, is generally the one which really seriously wipes out their accounts or causes them a big loss percentage-wise. And it's the same with gambling. Having a punt, losing, turning to frustration, losing some more, and then that frustration turning to anger, and then that will be vented onto their trading account, and their opposition will win. As for the professionals, they will never risk more than 1% of their account, or 2% max. They'll set a profit target at the end of the month, and they will have a maximum drawdown target, just in case they have that pink elephant or black swan event where they have an unusually big drawdown. It makes sense to jump off that wave if it's not a wave which is going to serve them well. So hopefully you'll see or get a flavour for the different traits between the seasoned professionals and the rookies.